Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of the channel. I'm Fey Helmet, or Ancient Marauder, and today I wanted to show you something that I developed a really long time ago, but that I've never really shown off in any public sense. I developed it specifically for a project called Will of the Woods, or at the time War of Wood, but anyone really can use this now because I'm going to be releasing it, right? I'm going to be releasing it to the public so that anyone can use this in their game. Basically, what it is it's a hex crawling system for your board game that you can craft out of cardboard after printing it out, where the hex tiles are not limited to the size of the paper, but only one hex tile is limited to the size of the paper you're printing. So you can have this be as big or as small as you want. And unlike an official hex tile system like maybe Catan or something, there isn't a need for borders around these hex tiles to keep them still, because the magic happens with these little pegs on each side and underneath them. The magic happens with these little pegs and notches at the bottom that allow them to stick together and stay still when you're playing, even without a border. And, like I said, you can craft as many of these as you need, and you can make them as big or as small as you want depending on how you're printing them, or if you edit the files yourself. The only real downside to these is that they're pretty tedious to craft. You will spend a lot of time crafting the individual little notches and pegs for each of them, and the notches and pegs can wear out, so you might need to craft more or reinforce them, but in general, this is something that you can experiment with. Now, my game, Will of the Woods, requires you to make quite a few of these, specifically 11 per player, unless you want the game field to be way too small to play on. But there's something about having all of these printed out that's just a satisfying feeling, you know? Like, having all of these cut out and then having enough of them to be able to play on them is just a very rewarding feeling. Another thing I might have to mention is that the notches and the pegs, they always are on the same side no matter how you rotate this, unless you glue it on wrong, because this part comes in two pieces, right? If you glue the peg on one side and the notch on the other, but you forget to do that for the others, they won't be compatible. And that brings me on to my next point. Each of these pieces is made up of two separate pieces, and the templates don't get printed out in multiple pieces. Like, you don't get 42 different pages with the same templates on them each. You are supposed to reuse the same templates by taping them to the cardboard and tracing them constantly. Unless, you know, you really want to waste your printer ink for some reason. But yeah, basically, like I said, these are a blank slate, so maybe you could have like two of them represent a wall, or one of them represent an objective. You could have them be spaces for different units or things to move across, like in my game. These will be released in the description on itch.io as a scalable vector graphic or as a PNG for you to be able to edit. And yeah, that's about it. I look forward to playing games with all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.